One we mentioned, which is the concept of, we mentioned it, 𝗕𝗿𝗴𝗿𝗵 scaring a Muslim. we mentioned وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْذُونَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ بِغَيْرِ مَا اكْتَسَبُوا فَقَدِ احْتَمَلُوا بُهْتَانًا وَإِثْمًا مُبِينًا. And scaring a Muslim when they play the football game sometimes.
Yeah, so you mentioned this yesterday to me, yeah, and I found it funny. I didn't really, in my head, I couldn't understand it. What you mentioned, I think you got up and you said that when a player pretends to shoot, so he puts his leg back, but he doesn't shoot just because, this thing. And the defender's like this, right? And you're saying, Shahid, what about that? The defender's a Muslim, for example. Now you're not allowed to do that. Yes, I just like, come on, man. Like, really, you're going into really extremes. Like, this is just a game. It's just fun. It's just, it's football. How else are you going to get around the player? Like, you need to do these kind of things. It's accepted before the game. All of these things. And then when I went home, to be honest with you, I thought about it. And this morning I thought about it. And I think I'll tie this in with another issue, which is about tackling. In football, obviously, it's very common.
Barging is part of the game.
Barging, in fact, barging is a better example. It's tackling. People might say it's not allowed for barging. You're allowed to shoulder barge. These kind of issues now I thought about, okay, it's part of the game. It's football. So what? Like, they're all men. It's not a big deal. I thought about something this morning. I said, if you agree, like someone else would agree, that you're not allowed to do this outside of football, you can't barge a Muslim. Maybe a non-Muslim, you can't barge someone like this just randomly. You can't take their leg. You can't kick their ankle. You can't scare them. You can't do this. Shut up, right? You can't.
If someone just randomly came up and did this to you, what would you do?
I don't know. I'd probably react like this or something.
No, you stand up and this is a fight.
Okay, but you can't. Well, my point is, you can't do these kind of things, right? Yeah. Even barging, for example, is part of the game, like you said. You can't do this outside of football. So now we know shut up and this is not allowed. We know Islam says you're not allowed to do this. We know that for a fact.
Then the Prophet said, لا يحل لمسلم أن يروع مسلما. وفي داود حديث. It's not permissible for a Muslim to scare another Muslim.
And then everyone in this, especially the issue of barging, because I think people might say, I'm not getting scared if someone does this. But the issue of barging, especially, which everyone agrees is part of the game, you're jostling, you're doing this. If someone says you're not allowed to do this outside of Islam, and I think everyone at home would agree with this, there's no doubt about it. Who says, just because you're playing a football game or just because football comes in, suddenly the Sharia changes? Suddenly you're allowed to do this?
It's a point. It's a really valid point. Ahmed narrated in his Muslim, listen to this, and Abu Dawud and 𝗕rمذي, and this is the wording of Imam 𝗕rمذي, that the Prophet ﷺ, he said, hadith Abdullah ibn 𝗕'𝗿, he narrates from Abdullah ibn Yazid narrates from his father, who narrates from his granddad, that the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يأخذن أحدكم, that one of you should not take متاع أخيه لاعبا, take the stuff of his brother and his phone or something. And he's joking. وَلَا جَادًا, even if you're serious about the issue. وَمَنْ أَخَذَ عَصَى أَخِيهِ فَلْيُرِدَّهَا, bring it back to him. He's scaring him for a few minutes. He's thinking, where's my phone? I can't find it. The Prophet said, don't do that.
SubhanAllah.
Can't do that. Can't do that to a Muslim. Scare him like that. We take these things lightly.
Yeah, we do. It's true.
But these things, ahkam shar'iyya, are connected to it. The game is based on terrorizing someone's heart.
Yeah, so just to go back with what I was saying, because I know some people might say, honestly, when you said this yesterday about the 𝗕𝗿𝗴𝗿, like, scare, I thought you were going to be extreme. I thought, come on. It's only when I really thought about it and it took like, a few hours to think in, I was thinking about this morning. And again, that's why I wanted to do this podcast, because I'm on the other side, like genuinely on the other side for once on the hot seat. I honestly feel like some of the stuff that is it's a bit strange, these kind of things. But then when I thought about it, and I really did think about it, if I believe that you can't do that outside of football game, then the rules of Islam can't change because of football. Because football does not mean anything. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything on the day of judgment. You can't say in front of Allah, it's a football match. Football doesn't have any meaning. So you just disobeyed Allah for no reason.